Everybody, it is the night of May 27, 2017. Earlier today it's been pretty hot and humid. It's still very humid outside, and we got a lot of thunderstorms that are heading this way from our northwest. Tonight I want to take an opportunity to share with you guys how I do my thunderstorm videos. Get my flashlight here. I'm sure you've heard of it before on my channel. It's called the WeatherCase. You may have seen WeatherCase in some of my thunderstorm video titles. Well, this is what it is. Get the flashlight going, you'll be able to see it. Very, very bright flashlight, by the way. Turn that down just a little bit. This is it. It's started out as a Hillshire Farm food container that you get in the deli section with ham or whatever. I took one of these, cut a hole in the bottom of it, and hot glued in some plexiglass, so that way the camera inside would have a clear window to view out of. I have since wrapped it with aluminum tape, with the exception of the area where the camera lens points out, to help keep some of the heat out of the inside of the case when it's during the day and sun's out. Inside I have a Kodak ZI-6 video camera. Let me open this up here and you'll be able to see a little better. It is a Kodak ZI-6 video camera that I have modified in many different ways. Number one, instead of using the internal microphone, I got rid of the internal microphone and I actually installed an external microphone onto the back of the food container case. You might be able to see it there. Bear with me. Filming this with the Play Touch, since it does better at night. There's a microphone. I did this that way it improves the quality of video. So you're actually listening to the outside sounds, not actually listening to the sounds muffled inside of the container. In the WeatherCase's first year of operation, I did in fact run the camera with this regular microphone, and it did not sound nearly as good as it does since I have done the mod. Back in 2011, I was running a DXG 567V camera instead of the ZI-6. The DXG 567 is very similar in shape and design to the ZI-6. The ZI-6 offers both 30 and 60 frames per second filming at 720p. And in stock form, it takes two AA batteries. I used to run rechargeables in it. But I was getting only about roughly an hour and a half to tops 2 hours out of a runtime. Which, when this thing is sitting out in the yard for an extended period of time, and the storm happens to come in and the thing goes dead, it's kind of annoying. So what I did is I have modified this camera to take 18650 lithium-ion cells. These are two lithium-ion cells that are run in parallel. The cells are LG Chem 2200 mAh cells from a laptop battery. With these cells and a good memory card, I can get around 5 to 6 hours sometimes of runtime, which is incredible, versus what this thing used to do, as I mentioned, roughly 2 hours tops. And I'm actually about to do an experiment. I recently acquired a 32 gig card off of Amazon. See, a lot of times a 16 gig card I have in it right now would just run out, and eventually it would just run out of memory and the video would stop. But I now have a 32 gig card I'm going to try out, and I have some 3000 milliamp hour 4.35 volt 18650 cells that I will be trying out in this to see how long I can run this thing. The purpose of the extended runtime is to do better time-lapse video and to not have to worry about the batteries going dead in the middle of a thunderstorm. See, there have been several occasions where I would run outside and do a battery change-out right in the middle of a thunderstorm, and it was very unsafe and defeats the whole purpose of this WeatherCase. The main reason why I designed this WeatherCase was to be able to actually set my camera outside in the middle of a thunderstorm and record the thunderstorm without actually being out there to tend to the camera. And that's one of the big reasons why I'm doing this video, is I don't want people to think that I am actually standing outside in the middle of a thunderstorm filming the thunderstorm, because that's very dangerous. Years and years ago, I used to film from the front porch, and this is back in June 2007. Had a close strike. It struck a tree right over across the street over there. Tree got struck, and a tree across the other road got struck. Very close strike. That pretty much done it in right there. I always enjoy filming thunderstorms from outside, but I want to make it safe to do so. And this design, at least not the mods on the camera, but the design of the WeatherCase is very simple. You just take, as I mentioned, a plastic Tupperware food container like this. Just go to the grocery store and buy you some deli meat or something. You'll have yourself one, and just cut you a hole. And you can go to Lowe's or wherever and get you some plexiglass. I mean, it's not very expensive. Get you some plexiglass. Cut a hole in the case and glue the plexiglass on. That gives you a watertight seal. And of course, the purpose of the WeatherCase is to keep the camera dry. This flashlight is very bright, by the way. I'm running it on low, and it's still very bright. Now, as far as the tripod goes, it's an old Vanguard tripod that I got many years ago. And you're probably wondering, how does it not blow away during the middle of a thunderstorm? Well, if you look, you'll see tent stakes that are actually holding it down. I mean, it's secured. It's not going anywhere. Yeah, the first few times I run this thing, I did not set it down and the camera fell over. So the whole thing fell over and actually damaged the bottom of the camera. That was my DXG camera. So yeah, this case, I designed this case 6 years ago. Yeah, this thing is 6 years old. I designed this WeatherCase back in May 2011, and here it is May 2017. It has been through many, many storms. It has served its purpose very well. As a matter of fact, if you look carefully, you can see how faded the lid is on this thing. The color is nearly faded off in spots, but it's still doing very well. Now, as I mentioned, as far as designing this thing, you just cut the hole for the plexiglass, and on the bottom you drill you a small hole for the scratching my finger, a bug bite or something. But you just cut a hole in the bottom of the case, to which the screw on the tripod mount, it just goes through and mounts to the camera. That's how it's actually secured to the that's how the entire thing is actually secured to the tripod. Is you just sandwich the camera, well, you just sandwich the case in between the camera and the base of the tripod where it threads onto the camera. So if you're wondering about how the camera has been modified, I do have a video up on Q Computer channel if you're interested in looking. Again, if you're in electronics, it's not terribly difficult to do. It's just the WeatherCase. It involves the lithium-ion cells, an 18650 battery holder, a rectifier diode that's capable of handling 3 amps, a 3 amp fuse, and some wiring, and that's about it. So that aside, again, this whole contraption enables me to film thunderstorms out in the yard without even having to be out there to tend to the camera. In its current form, it will film for about 5 hours. I can't wait to see how long it will film with the 3,000 milliamp hour cells and the 32 gigabyte card. Yeah, that's all there is to it. Because my ultimate goal here is, over the past several years, I have missed out on so many thunderstorms due to work and such. What I would like to do is I'd like to have this thing designed to where it can record for probably 8 or 9 hours. If there's a day that they're forecasting thunderstorms, I can deploy this camera to the yard, probably in the backyard, leave for the day, and hopefully this thing could capture thunderstorms while I'm not even home. Anyways, that is a look at this WeatherCase in its current form. At least the contraption that I use to do these videos. Now let's go ahead and turn the camera on and start filming. Very simple. Just power it on. Already got a cart loaded in, fresh batteries. And to start recording. And let's go ahead and close it up. And that is it. That's all there is to it. So anyways, that is a look at one of my cameras and the WeatherCase as of 2017. And these storms are definitely getting closer. No doubt about it. That was pretty light in there. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.